When the rapture occurs, the world will capture the moment.
They foretell that we will experience unprecedented suffering and great cataclysms that may wipe out mankind.
There will be chaos on our globe, but incredible, glorious joy in the skies. All bear video record of the great disappearance. This is the Rapture.
Did you know that the Euphrates River hides an ancient city? Stretching 1,740 miles, the Great Euphrates River, an important part of old cultures, is now alarmingly drying up. It's showing us hidden places, mysterious buildings, and old objects. The river's quiet disappearance tells a tale of loss and the need to act quickly. And that's only the first sign. Join us as we reveal the rapture that is happening in 2024. Chapter 1. The Euphrates River Warning Sign. The shrinking of the Euphrates River has not only shown us a big problem with the Earth's environment and geology, but also given us a look at hidden treasures and secrets from old times. This river, which is one of the longest in Western Asia, has played a big role in helping the first farming communities, like the Sumerians and the Mesopotamians, grow and develop. It's even mentioned in the Bible as one of the 4 rivers that flowed from the Garden of Eden. People have found mysterious caves along its edges as the river's water level has gone down. These discoveries have caused a lot of talk among different groups of people, including those who study ancient things, scientists, and those who follow religious teachings. Inside these caves, there have been surprising finds that were hidden under the river, which help us understand more about the people who lived near the Euphrates long ago. There's a lot of guessing about what these caves might have been used for. Maybe they were homes, places for religious activities, or even prisons, but finding solid proof is hard. These findings have also started discussions among people who follow religious teachings, with some seeing connections to stories in the Bible and Islamic beliefs, though people don't always agree on what these connections mean. Among the amazing things found were a city that is 3,400 years old, an old fortress, and many unique objects that tell us about how people lived, their traditions, and the technology they used a long time ago. These discoveries are very important not just because they're interesting from a history point of view, but also because they help us understand the civilizations that were once thriving along the Euphrates. These ancient finds offer a glimpse into a past world, showing us how people back then interacted with their environment, what they believed in, and how they solved daily challenges. It's like opening a time capsule that has been waiting under the river for thousands of years. Each artifact, from pottery shards to tools, tells a story of survival, innovation, and the human spirit's connection to the land and the divine. The ongoing exploration of these caves and the artifacts found within them could reshape our understanding of ancient human history, providing new perspectives on how ancient societies were structured, what they valued, and how they contributed to the development of human civilization as we know it. Moreover, the situation of the Euphrates drying up serves as a wake-up call for the present, highlighting the impact of climate change and human activity on our planet's natural resources. It reminds us of the importance of preserving our environment and learning from the past to ensure a sustainable future. As researchers continue to dig deeper into the mysteries unearthed by the receding waters of the Euphrates, we stand to learn much more about our shared human heritage and the lessons it offers for today's world. The Euphrates River is getting drier because of a mix of reasons like changes in the weather, too much water being taken out of it, and the building of big dams, including the Ataturk Dam in Turkey. These dams have made less water flow down the river. This problem has worsened the lack of water in a place where fights are already happening, affecting more than 23 million people. These people rely on the river to give them clean drinking water, water for farming, and electricity made from water power. As the river dries up, it uncovers old secrets and teaches us about how to live with nature and remember the past. Chapter 2. The Underwater City. As the river's water level goes down, It's not just showing us how hard it is to take care of our environment today, but it's also like a storybook about the old times. It tells us how people from long ago lived and how important it is to keep a good balance between making life better for ourselves and taking care of nature. The things being found in the Euphrates are like clues to how we used to live, and a reminder that we need to look after this important river so people in the future can have it too. The river becoming drier has brought out lots of old and interesting things and started many deep talks. Among these cool finds are an old castle and gold treasures that have been hidden under the water for a very long time. These discoveries help us understand more about the people who lived by the Euphrates a long time ago, showing us the rich history and culture of this area. Also, the finding of mysterious caves has made a lot of people interested, including those who study old things, scientists, and people who follow religion. They're all trying to figure out why these caves were there. Were they used as prisons a long time ago, places for religious activities, or safe spots during fights? These findings teach us about how people in the past solved problems, lived their daily lives, and interacted with their surroundings. It's like piecing together a puzzle about human history, understanding more about how societies were organized, the challenges they faced, and how they overcame them. This exploration into the past is not just about curiosity. It's a lesson for us today on how to live more harmoniously with our environment, learning from the wisdom of ancient civilizations to tackle our modern challenges. Moreover, the shrinking Euphrates highlights the urgent need for international cooperation to manage water resources wisely and combat climate change. It's a call to action for all of us to adopt more sustainable practices to ensure that vital resources like the Euphrates can continue to support life, not just now, but for future generations. As we dig deeper into the stories and secrets revealed by the receding waters, we're reminded of the resilience of human societies and the enduring importance of environmental stewardship. This ongoing discovery process not only enriches our understanding of human history, but also serves as a crucial reminder of the impact our actions have on the planet and the importance of working together to protect and preserve our natural heritage. The Euphrates River, one of the world's most ancient and important rivers, has recently revealed a hidden treasure, the remains of an old city called Zaku, now known as Kemune. This city was part of a mighty empire called Mitanni, which existed about 3,600 years ago. The Mitanni Empire was big and strong, stretching from northern Iraq to Syria, and even reaching Turkey. In this ancient city, researchers found really big walls and buildings. These were not just any buildings. They were part of a large protective wall with towers, places where people worked and made things, and a huge storage area that could hold lots of items. This shows us that the people who lived in this city were probably very important and had a lot of things. What's really amazing is how these old buildings and walls have stayed in such good shape. They were made from mud that dried in the sun, and usually such things would break down and disappear underwater. But here, they were still standing, even though they were very old. However, a long time ago, around 1350 BCE, an earthquake damaged the top parts of these walls, but the lower parts were covered by stuff that fell on them, which helped keep them safe from the water. Inside these old buildings, the people exploring found pots that had something very special in them, over 100 old tablets. These weren't just any tablets, they were written in cuneiform, which is the first way of writing ever created in the world. It was made up by people in Mesopotamia around 5,400 years ago. These tablets can tell us a lot about the people who lived in this city long ago. The Mitanni Empire, where this city was a big deal back in its day. It was huge, going over 600 miles between the Zagros Mountains and the Mediterranean Sea. The empire had strong warriors known as Marianu, and it was a place where many different people lived together. But the Euphrates River drying up is a big problem. It's not just about finding old cities and learning about history. The river drying up is bad for the environment and the animals that live there. There are many animals like snakes, river otters, wolves, and different birds, as well as plants like willow trees and wild grass that need the river to survive. But the river is drying up because there's not enough rain, and the weather is getting hotter because of climate change. Also, people have built dams and haven't managed the water well, which makes the problem worse. This is a big issue for over 7 million people who live near the river because they need the water to grow their food and for drinking. Different people think about the discoveries in the river in different ways. Some Christians think that the caves they found might have something to do with demons, like in a story from the Bible. But in Islam, people believe that angels can't be trapped, so they think about these caves differently. The Euphrates River is also very significant in the religious texts of both Christianity and Islam. Some people believe that the river getting drier could mean that the end of the world is coming. These ideas may not be based on scientific evidence, but they show how much the Euphrates River means to people's faith and the stories that societies have told for thousands of years. The reappearance of Zaku from the water reminds us of how societies rise and fall, offering lessons for us on how to care for our planet. Chapter 3: Zaku's Secret Society. Moreover, Zaku's layout, with its careful placement of public and private spaces, indicates a deep understanding of how to create a balanced and functional urban environment. The existence of various public buildings and squares suggests a society that valued communal activities and gatherings. The variety and complexity of the buildings and spaces unearthed suggest a community that was not only concerned with the practicalities of daily life, but also engaged in cultural and religious practices. The artifacts, from the personal adornments to the tools of trade and domestic life, offer a vivid snapshot of the cultural richness and economic vitality of Zaku. They tell us about the craftsmanship skills of the people, their economic interactions with distant lands, and their daily routines. Each piece found under the water adds to our understanding of how they lived, celebrated, worked, and interacted with each other and the wider world. The discovery of Zaku and the ongoing explorations serve as a reminder of the complexity and depth of human history. It challenges us to think about the lives of those who lived thousands of years ago, their achievements, their challenges, and their legacy. As divers and archaeologists continue to reveal the city's secrets, we are given the opportunity to connect with our ancestors in profound ways, learning about their lives, their societies, and perhaps finding reflections of our own civilization in theirs. In the underwater ruins of Zaku, researchers have found ancient fishing nets, farming tools, and items used for making things, all pointing to a community that could take care of itself using the ocean and the land. This tells us a lot about how clever they were in using what nature offered them. They were really in tune with their environment, living off the sea's bounty, and farming the land to sustain their community. The finding of old ships and the remains of their cargoes is exciting because it hints that Zaku had a big network for trading. They likely shared their ways of life and goods with people far away, spreading their influence and ideas across distant lands. The discovery of statues representing different gods, special pots used in religious ceremonies, and writings about their beliefs show us that the people of Zaku followed many gods and wove this belief deeply into their everyday lives and even how they ran their society. The information gathered from these finds suggests that they were a people who looked for balance and harmony with the spiritual world, hoping for protection and help from their gods. Big festivals and ceremonies were probably important events in Zaku, bringing everyone together and strengthening the bond within the community. Places where lots of people could gather and platforms for ceremonies have been found, making us think that celebrating and worshiping together was a big part of who they were. These festivals and public rituals likely marked the changing seasons, important historical events, or honored the gods, playing a vital part in unifying the community and shaping its identity. The presence of these spaces and artifacts shows a culture rich in tradition and communal activities, where people come together to celebrate, worship, and connect with one another and the divine. Uncovering Zakiku's history shows us a culture full of life and wisdom, inspiring us to live in balance with our surroundings. Chapter 4: A City with a Queen. Our studies of ancient instruments and art show that the Zaku culture deeply valued beauty and expressed emotions and ideas. They left behind cave paintings and sculptures that are more than just old items. They stand as a testament to the incredible artistic skill and vivid imaginations of the Zaku people. These artifacts are very important because they offer us a glimpse into their beliefs, their mythical heroes, and possibly their fears and hopes. Researchers are still investigating the sunken remains of Zaku, and each new discovery sheds more light on this enigmatic ancient city. The dedicated efforts of archaeologists and historians are crucial in unraveling the secrets of Zaku, giving us a glimpse into a world that thrived centuries ago. Through careful examination and preservation of these findings, the story of Zaku continues to educate and inspire us, reminding us of the varied and rich tapestry of human history. As the Euphrates River's waters recede, we uncover more secrets about ancient civilizations and an entire chapter of human history filled with legends and myths. The uncovering of secret tunnels has sparked widespread excitement and curiosity. These discoveries reveal a part of history that combines reality with elements of fairy tales. The construction of these tunnels, with their sturdy steps and walls, indicates that the people of the time were knowledgeable in building and had a strong understanding of architecture. The story of the concealed underground passages is closely linked with the tale of Queen Semiramis, a legendary and mysterious figure. Many believe she ordered the building of these tunnels not only for practical reasons, but also to add a sense of wonder and magic to her empire. Queen Semiramis is known for her love of creating architectural marvels, and it's thought that she wanted these tunnels to serve multiple purposes. These secret routes could have been used for moving her armies discreetly or for holding grand events throughout her kingdom. Semiramis, also known as Samuramat, was a real historical figure who came to power after her husband, King Shamsi-Adad V, died in 8111 BCE. As her son, King Adad-nirari III, was too young to rule, she became the regent of the Assyrian Empire. At a time when women rarely held significant power, Samuramat's role in the Assyrian court was extremely influential. She brought stability to the country, initiated various building projects, and led military campaigns. Her notable achievements include defeating the Medes and possibly extending her conquests to the Armenians, showing her prowess as both a leader and a military strategist. Samuramat's time as regent, which lasted about 5 years, had a lasting impact on history. Her leadership was acknowledged with a commemorative stela in Ashur and an inscription in Kala, highlighting her prominent position after her husband's death. Despite her brief reign, she became a legendary figure, merging with the myth of Semiramis, a character often compared to the deity Ishtar. The mythic history of Semiramis is far more elaborate than her real life. According to legends, she was the daughter of a Syrian goddess and a young Assyrian man, and was raised by doves after being abandoned at birth. She married King Ninus, the alleged founder of Babylon, and took control of the Assyrian Empire after his death. Semiramis is credited with the irrigation of Babylon, expanding her territories, and leading military expeditions as far as India. She supposedly ruled for 42 years until her son took over, and after her death, she was transformed into a dove and became a goddess. Semiramis's influence extended well beyond her lifetime, with her story being recorded by over 75 ancient writers. She was associated with goddesses like Ishtar and Astarte, and linked to various monuments across Western Asia. For instance, the city of Van in Turkey, originally named Shamiramagerd, is believed to have been founded by her and served as her summer residence. Interestingly, she is thought to be the first person to perform the castration of a young male, a practice related to the creation of eunuchs. In Armenian legends, her portrayal is more complex and often negative, especially highlighting her war against Armenia. In one story, Semiramis, infatuated with the Armenian king, Ara the Handsome, waged war against Armenia after he declined her marriage proposal. Despite her orders to capture Ara unharmed, he was killed, leading to various myths about Semiramis's attempts to resurrect him or to replace him with an impostor to end the war. In the Middle Ages, Semiramis's reputation shifted towards being associated with promiscuity and sensuality. She was linked to sexual activities, including rumors of an incestuous relationship with her son, Ninyas. Her name also appears in Dante's Divine Comedy as one of the lustful souls in hell. However, her reputation improved in later periods, like the Renaissance. She was included in works like Christine de Pizan's The Book of the City of Ladies, and was portrayed among the 9 worthies. In modern times, Semiramis continues to be culturally significant. The Semiramis Intercontinental Hotel in Cairo, Egypt, named after her, was the site of the Cairo Conference of 1921. Additionally, she has been featured in Japanese anime series Fate, Apocrypha, and the video game Fate or Grand Order. A rock band named Semiramis also took inspiration from her. The legend of Semiramis, whether based on historical facts or steeped in mythology, portrays a powerful and enigmatic woman whose legacy has spanned centuries. Her name, meaning high heaven, fittingly reflects her extraordinary stature in both history and myth. Learning about everyday life in Zaku, we see the creativity and connections of ancient people, making us wonder about the impact we'll have on the future. Chapter 5. A Prison of Angels. The tunnels are fascinating for many reasons. One is the Christian stories of angels trapped inside. These stories add a spiritual touch to the actual existence of the tunnels, blending religious beliefs with the physical presence of these old structures. Although it might seem more like a legend, it shows how deeply these tunnels have influenced local tales and religious thinking. Recently discovered ancient texts suggest that these tunnels were once trade routes connecting Babylon to the larger region of Mesopotamia. This reveals another side of their purpose. They were not just places of myth or spiritual journeys, but were also key for trade and communication long ago, linking different parts of the empire and helping exchange goods and ideas. The mix of practical use, mystery, and spiritual significance makes these tunnels very intriguing. Their association with Queen Semiramis turns them from simple architectural wonders into parts of a bigger story that combines history and myth. The way these tunnels are connected to both the everyday needs of an ancient empire and the rich mix of myths and religious beliefs gives us a more colorful picture of the past. It shows how buildings can be more than just physical structures. They can become an important part of a culture's spiritual and mythological history. The tunnels are also known for strange sounds that have sparked curiosity and fear. Some areas of the tunnels are now off-limits because of this. The discovery of an unidentifiable creature in these tunnels has increased curiosity and fear. People are wondering if this creature is from a species we thought was extinct, or if the sounds in the tunnels are causing unnecessary fear. This situation has turned the tunnels into a place full of mystery and fear, with secrets yet to be uncovered. Archaeologists and historians are working hard to learn more about these tunnels. They're curious about their purpose, who built them, and what those people's lives were like. The area is unique because it's filled with history and old stories, intertwined with new discoveries. Every new find in the tunnels is like a puzzle piece, helping us understand life in ancient times. It connects our modern world to the ancient world in fascinating ways. By continuing to explore and study these tunnels, we might finally unlock the mysteries they hold, giving us insight into the intelligence and beliefs of the ancient people who lived near the Euphrates River. The Euphrates River, vital to millions in the Middle East, is currently facing several challenges. One major issue is the river's decreasing water levels, caused by changes in weather patterns, leading to warmer and drier conditions and fewer rainy seasons. This has affected both the Euphrates and the nearby Tigris River, significantly reducing their water flow. In some years, the water level is less than half of what it once was, and they are losing much of their fresh water. This reduction is due to less rainfall and higher temperatures, which cause faster water evaporation. Going into the mysterious tunnels, we find a world where old stories and real history mix, making us curious about the secrets of the past. Chapter 6. The Ataturk Dam Mystery. The problems with the Euphrates River are not only due to the weather changes, but also because of many dams that have been built on it. A lot of these dams were built in Turkey during the 1980s and 1990s, with one of the most notable being the Ataturk Dam. While these dams were intended to help by providing water for irrigation and generating electricity, they've also caused a problem. They prevent a lot of the river's water from flowing downstream to other areas. The changing weather makes the situation even worse, bringing less rainfall and higher temperatures. This leads to more water evaporating into the air, further reducing the river's flow. Additionally, there's a big problem with countries not agreeing on how to share the water from the Euphrates River. Iraq, for example, complains that Iran is taking more water than it should, which is against the agreements between countries. This disagreement has caused a lot of trouble for Iraq. One of their dams, the Darbandikhan Dam, has seen its water level drop by 7.5 meters in just 1 year. Now, it gets only a fraction of the water it used to receive annually. This has led to serious concerns in Iraq about future water shortages and possibly a severe drought. The future of the Euphrates River looks uncertain due to these challenges. Climate change, dam construction, and disputes between countries are all contributing to the difficulty in providing enough water for everyone who relies on the river. This complex situation affects many aspects of life in the Middle East, including agriculture, electricity production, drinking water availability, and the environment's health. Addressing these problems will require cooperation among countries and strategies to adapt to climate change and manage the river's water in a fairer way. It's a significant challenge but crucial for the millions of people who depend on the Euphrates River in their daily lives. The drying of the Euphrates River impacts not only humans, but also wildlife. Over 23 million people depend on the river for essential needs like fresh water, irrigation, hydropower, and drinking water. The river is also home to various species, including river otters, seabirds, water buffalo, and several endangered or threatened bird species, such as the marble teal and the Dalmatian pelican. The Euphrates River holds immense historical and ecological value. It has been vital for ancient civilizations and current communities alike. Mentioned in ancient texts from as early as the mid-3rd millennium BCE, the river provides a habitat for diverse plants and animals. Along its course, it supports different ecosystems, including dry woodlands in southeast Turkey, and a variety of plants and trees along its banks. The situation is quite alarming, with predictions suggesting that the Euphrates could completely dry up by 2040 if things don't change. Such a scenario would devastate agriculture, water supply, and the region's stability. Actions to manage water resources sustainably and address the impacts of climate change are essential to prevent this crisis. The challenges the Euphrates River faces highlight broader global issues of water scarcity and environmental degradation, emphasizing the need for widespread and cooperative solutions. Facing challenges with the Euphrates today, we're reminded of the need to work together to ensure our survival and protect the environment. Chapter 7. The Prophecies. The situation with the Euphrates River drying up is causing a lot of issues that impact the environment, economy, and communities. However, it also presents an interesting aspect because it links to religious stories and predictions, and it's revealing historical artifacts. As the river's water level drops, it exposes ancient sites like the cities of Ur and Uruk, and we are discovering old clay tablets with writing on them. We've even uncovered sites that could be related to the epic tale of Gilgamesh, offering insights into life thousands of years ago. There's excitement about the discovery of caves that are now visible because of the river's decline. These caves might have been used for various purposes in the past, such as prisons, ceremonial sites, or as shelters. Different religions have their own interpretations of these caves. For instance, some Christians believe these caves might be linked to evil entities, whereas Muslims don't share this belief. This shows how significant these caves are to various cultures and religions across the globe. The Bible mentions the Euphrates River, suggesting that its drying could signal major transformative global events. Is there a major rapture coming? Or is this the sign of aliens taking over the world? Or something worse? Religious scriptures like Jeremiah and Revelation refer to the river drying up preceding significant battles or divine judgments. Some people believe that the current situation with the river might be a fulfillment of these ancient prophecies, particularly concerning future major conflicts like Armageddon. However, drying up the Euphrates River is a real and immediate issue. It's happening due to changes in climate, construction of large dams, and unsustainable water usage. This problem is part of larger challenges related to climate change and resource management. It's a wake-up call that we need to take better care of our planet and find sustainable ways to use water to preserve vital ecosystems like the Euphrates River to benefit people and wildlife that depend on it. While some interpret the drying up of the river as a sign of fulfilling ancient prophecies, it's crucial to recognize that we are facing a tangible crisis that demands immediate action. We need to concentrate on living in environmentally friendly ways to prevent further harm and support those who are impacted. The situation with the Euphrates River offers us an opportunity to reflect on how history, religion, and science converge in guiding us to work together to protect our world, its unique locations, and the rich stories they contain. The Euphrates River's decline is bringing to light many archaeological treasures. As the water recedes, it reveals relics and structures that were hidden underwater for centuries. Archaeologists and historians are finding artifacts, ancient buildings, and even submerged whole cities. This is giving us a unique window into the past, helping us understand more about ancient civilizations that lived along the river. These discoveries are incredibly valuable for our knowledge of history and are helping us piece together how ancient societies functioned, what they believed in, and how they interacted with their environment. This situation also shows how nature and human history are deeply intertwined. The changing river is not just an environmental issue, it's also a portal to our past. We can learn about ancient technologies, trade, and cultural exchanges by studying what the river reveals. Seeing how natural changes can lead to new understandings of human history is fascinating. The Euphrates River, therefore, is not just a source of water. It's a source of knowledge and a bridge connecting us to our ancestors. What did you find most fascinating about the Euphrates River? Share your thoughts, like and subscribe for more.